If you are not 18, don't watch this video. Hello everybody, my name is Nisin Lopez. I am a 39-year-old Cuban-American artist and an occultist, and today I'm here to speak about my gang stalking experience. Ever since early 2011 until now, and we're in 2015, I have been systematically harassed by personnel that is recruited by law enforcement here in Miami, Florida. Basically the way it works, law enforcement, whether you want to call them FBI, police, Homeland Security, whatever you want to call them, it doesn't make any difference. Law enforcement, they recruit personnel of all kinds of social status in order to harass you left and right. You monitor 24/7. When you are a targeted individual, you are monitored 24/7, and they know everything that you do, all your habits, your social circle, everything, and they basically harass you left and right anywhere you go, 24/7 pretty much. This is done in order to destroy you emotionally and psychologically. They basically want to break you down, to destroy your psyche. That's what they want. The goal is to put you in jail under false accusations, and to make you look as bad as possible, character assassination, and to throw you in a psychiatric institution also, in order to destroy your credibility. Once you are in a psychiatric institution and you tell them that the police is harassing you through recruited personnel, the doctors are going to say that you are delusional, and right there you have your testimony demolished in the eyes of the public. So basically, gang stalking is a sophisticated method of the United States government, something that is carried out in order to destroy a person, to kill a person without physically killing the person. Psychological torture, pretty much. I have been undergoing this unfortunate experience since 2011, as I previously mentioned, and I can honestly say that I have been emotionally and psychologically destroyed. There is no remedy for the kind of stuff that I have gone through. Maybe you're listening to me now and you say to yourself, well, this guy sounds pretty logical. He doesn't look like he's severely disturbed or anything like that. You might not see this in my face, but as I already said, I have been emotionally and psychologically destroyed. I don't believe there is a remedy, any therapy, anything in order to fix the horrible things that have been done to me. One of the things that the guys from law enforcement use as a weapon, against the targeted individual is the person's phone, your cell phone. They basically use your cell phone as a weapon. They weaponize your cell phone. How do they do that? Well, they basically they have a way of controlling your cell phone via remote control. They have very sophisticated technology, obviously, technology that most of the public is not aware of. And they basically mess with your phone left and right in order to drive you nuts. One of the things they do, for example, is let's say you dial 786, and instead of dialing 786, which is what you're commanding your phone to do, it dials like another number like 143. They have the technology to do this. This is being done by the police. Another thing that they do, basically you call a place, let's say you call your bank, and somebody answers, yeah, this is bank such and such, my name is such and such, how can I help you today? You think you're talking to your bank, but you're not. you're talking to an agent of law enforcement that is somewhere out there, some fusion center. You know, he's making you believe that the bank has answered your phone call, but that's not what happened. They have redirected your call. So you have to be really careful about giving out information about who you're talking to. It's very, very ugly stuff. These people are very, very corrupt. Another thing that they do, sometimes, you call, a friend of yours or your girlfriend or whatever, and you start talking, and then the call drops. Boop, they do that a lot. Or somebody calls you, and then you answer your phone, and then the minute you start talking, the call drops. This is not happening by chance. This is being done by law enforcement, by the police. They have so many things, ugly things that they do. Sometimes, for example, you might be looking in your phone using the internet, and let's say you Google the name Samantha Fox. Samantha Fox is a fine-ass looking woman from the 80s that has like really nice tits, blonde American woman. She was like a pop singer or something. You might put Samantha Fox, Google, you press search, and then you click on images, and then you're gonna see a bunch of images. When you click on the image you like, in order to see it bigger on your phone, it doesn't let you click, it doesn't let you enlarge, to see the picture large. This is done by law enforcement. They do this in order to torment you, to stress you out as much as possible. Another thing they do is, for example, you call your friend, and then your friend answers the phone, and you start talking. But then all of a sudden, you hear your friend, but your friend doesn't hear you. This is done by law enforcement, and vice versa. Somebody might call you, you answer your phone, and they hear you, but you don't hear them. When you finally make contact with them later on, they will tell you, oh no, I was listening to you. I could hear you, but somehow you couldn't hear me. They do this to mess with you totally. Another thing that they do is, for example, you might use your phone to take a photograph, take a picture or something. Click, and then you try to edit the picture. The phone has tools, for editing the picture, the brightness, the contrast, to crop the picture, etc. And when you're doing that, they mess with you. They don't let you do it, to stress you out, It's very, very, very fucked up, really ugly stuff. Another trick that they have is that, for example, you might go to YouTube to watch a music video or something, and then you click play, and the video starts to play, and then it stops, and then it goes and it stops, and it's basically they're doing this, via remote control, making it impossible for you to watch the video. Or you click on a video and it takes 20 million years to download, and it's not happening by chance. This is done by law enforcement. That's another trick that they have in the book. Sometimes they have some clowns, just random people that they have, people that they know, whatever, and they tell them to call you, crank calling you. They tell them to call you, especially at night or really early in the morning, asking you for stupid questions, stuff that doesn't make any sense. It is more than obvious that they're messing with you. This is not just happening by chance. This is carefully orchestrated by law enforcement. Sometimes you might receive, some text messages in your phone. And say, hey, how are you? I'm a hot girl, or some, and then you're like, who is this, And you have to be very careful with that. Very, very careful. Because this is the deadliest tactic of law enforcement. They send you a text message, saying something, whatever. Basically, if you click on that message, that is registered. That you clicked on it from your phone. Your phone has your name and your information. When you purchase your phone, you have to give your name and your address and everything. So if you click on that link, even though you don't know what it is or whatever, even though you certainly have no malevolent intentions or whatever, you don't even know who this is, you have to be very careful, because they might send a fucked up link to your phone and you click on it, that shit is registered somewhere. All right. And and be careful responding to this text messages. If you be very careful. Don't assume that they are who they claim to be. Don't even talk to them. Just erase the message. Don't even send any reply. Oh, who are you? Why are you contacting me? Don't even bother doing that. Just erase the text message. Period. Basically they have complete control when it comes to technology. When it comes to technology, law enforcement has complete and absolute dominion. All right? They can pretty much do whatever the hell they want with your phone. This is why at this point, today is August 29th, 2015. Today is Saturday. I have chosen not to have any phone service. I have a phone. Here's a physical material phone, tangible, verifiable, but I don't have any phone service. I choose not to have any phone service. Why am I gonna go to Metro PCS and pay, whatever it is a month, if the police is gonna be messing with my service? If the police is gonna be using my phone as a weapon against me for no fucking reason, why am I gonna pay anything? Why am I gonna have phone service? Doesn't make any sense. It's not cool, but it is the reality that I have as a targeted individual. Unfortunately, that's the way it is. So they pretty much can do whatever the hell they want. Let's say I've tried to call, for example, radio shows like Coast to Coast AM. That's an occult. It deals with many things. That's a radio show on AM. That they talk about stuff, that government stuff, UFOs, the occult, parallel universes and stuff like that. So, they don't want me to appear on that show to call and for them to take my call, because that would mean that millions of people are listening to what I have to say. So the police certainly doesn't want me saying, hey, George, how are you? Yeah, I'm a targeted individual here in Miami, Florida. The police has targeted me since 2011. They don't want millions of people listening to that. So what do? They drop your call. I called the radio show Ground Zero from Clyde Lewis, also on AM, and the same thing, they dropped my call. I called the show here in Miami, Florida, with this guy, Coronel Matias Farias, I think the show is called La Noticia al Dia or something, I'm not sure. And the same thing, they dropped my call. And so they have complete control. They can pretty much do whatever the hell they want, with your phone. It's just to stress you out as much as possible, And, it goes to show, like here in the United States, for example, I happen to be a U.S. citizen, in case you didn't know. You hear on the news, oh, Russia, Vladimir Putin is doing this, he's doing an injustice. Or you might hear on TV, oh, Iran, Iran is doing this, the nuclear bomb in Iran, the malevolent government of Iran. Or you might hear stuff about Cuba, oh, the Castro regime is doing this and whatever, all this stuff. But wait a minute, what about what's being done to me? This is not, I have been a targeted individual since 2011. We're in 2015. You have no idea of the ordeal that I have been through ever since 2011. And everything happened because I had some friction with some influential Ashkenazi Jews here in Florida. I have some problem with some people that are government affiliated, people that have friends in high places, and they decided to destroy me, you know, to destroy my public image, to basically destroy me emotionally and psychologically, to destroy my life. So, you know, so what about what has been done to me here in the United States, you know? Is that not malevolent? But you don't hear about that on national TV. As a matter of fact, last month I called the Miami Herald. That's a newspaper, by the way. I called the Miami Herald and I spoke to some lady. And I told her, yeah, hi, my name is Nisin Lopez. You know, I want to speak about what's being done to me by the police. You know, I'm a targeted individual. They're doing this. You know what the lady did? She said, hello, hello. Yeah, you're breaking up. Hello, I can't hear you. I can't hear you. Of course she could fucking hear me. She was pretending that she couldn't hear me. You know why? Because she knows what gang stalking is. Systematic harassment sponsored by the state. And she knows what that is. So she doesn't want to deal with that. They will never publish an article in the Miami Herald saying that the United States government is involved in gang stalking. Meaning, you know, the government is operating as a terrorist agent. You know, they will never admit to that. So, you know, I mean, as of right now, you know, August 29th, 2015, Saturday. As of right now, you know, this whole gang stalking thing, you know, it destroyed my life for sure. But at the same time, it expanded my mind. You know, now I have a real view of what the world is really like. You know, I have been exposed to a scenario that people rarely see, you know. You could pretty much say that I am awake, truly awake, 110% awake. So yeah, your phone, it can be weaponized against you by law enforcement. So yeah, my name is Nisin Lopez. I'm a Cuban American artist. You can go ahead and Google my name and check out my paintings, you know, my articles on the internet. Well, thank you very much for your time.